Hello students, welcome back to the maths class. Today we are going to start our new topic, lines and angles. Last time we have finished chapter number 4, that was linear equation in two variables. I have taken all the questions of textbook as well as some additional questions also I have taken. So I think they are sufficient to update your knowledge to fulfill your requirement. Okay. Now today onwards we are starting the chapter of lines and angles. In the lines and angles, I am taking the questions of textbook first and then I am taking the solved example, because in the geometry, solved examples plays a very important role. Some of the solved examples repeatedly come in the examination as well. So you need to solve the solved example also. Apart from that, if required, I will take some additional question time to time. Okay, so you try to solve all the question, don't leave any question from here. Now first of all, we shall understand some basic concept of lines and angles. Okay, as you know, the name of the chapter is only lines and angles. In the lower classes, already you have covered some definitions like point, line segment, angle. Okay, and you are familiar too. But once again, we shall see all the definition quickly. We will not go in detail of that, but quickly we shall see once again all the definitions, and then we will start our questions, because in this chapter there are many definitions. So let us see the first definition that is in front of you. The first definition we are going to cover as point. Point definition is written over here. We often represent a point by a fine dot made with a fine sharp pencil on a piece of paper. So for example, see, if I make a dot on the piece of paper like this. Okay, so are you observing one dot here whose name I can give here as A. Okay, so here I can say that A, where I put the dot, means if you tip the pencil over there on the piece of paper, then the whatever this small dot will form, that dot will be called as the point in a plane or point on the surface. Okay, now second definition is given here as line. So see the second definition, line. A line is completely known if we are given any two distinct means different point. Okay, so line AB is represented by AB, and the on the top of the AB there is a sign of the line comes over there, which is enclosed by two arrows. So line or a straight line extend indefinitely in both the direction. That is the thing we need to understand here. Indefinitely in both the direction means line when we shall draw through the 2 points. For example, here I have 2 points A and B. So from these 2 points, when I will draw a line in both the direction left as well as right, the line will go up till infinite. It does not have any end point. Okay, so remember, the line will go up till infinite. Similarly, then a definition is given to us of line segment. So see the definition of line segment. They are saying a part of a line with two endpoints is called the line segment. Means, for example, if I take the previous figure only. So from A, if I go till B. Okay, so if A to B, I can say that this portion will be called as here line segment. Okay, as the same figure you are seeing in the second figure over there. So in the second figure you observe the same thing they are going to explain. So A to B, if any particular part of a line, if we take from the two endpoints, okay, means for example one point is A and another point is B, then that two, between that two endpoint, whatever the segment of line comes is called as the line segment. So remember, what is the difference between line and line segment? Line goes up to infinite from both the ends, while as line segment is a part of line which will be taken as a one of the portion. Okay, so it will have the two end points. Now, let us see the third definition. The third definition is given here. Sorry, fourth definition is given here. Ray. So, ray is a part of line with one endpoint. See, if we initiate a line from one of the endpoint and if it goes up to infinite, we say it is a ray. So, there are three basic things we have learned so far. One is line, second one is line segment, and third one is ray. So what is line? It goes up till infinite in both the direction, as you can see in the figure. Then ray will be going up till infinite, but it starts from one of the point. So that point, beginning point, we can say that is the initial point, and hence it will not go infinite in both the direction. It will go only in one direction. Okay. For example, the rays of sun comes to earth. Okay, so it goes up to infinite. However, it reflects from the earth, surface of the earth, but again in the universe it goes up till infinite, right? Similarly, in the case of ray over here, we can say that it starts from one of the point and it goes up till infinite. So it will have only one endpoint and then it goes up till infinite. While line do not have any endpoint and in both the direction it goes infinite. And similarly, the line segment will have the two endpoints and in both the direction it will not go up till infinite. Then last definition is collinear points. If three or more points lie on the same line, they are called collinear points. Otherwise, they are called non-collinear points. I will show you with the help of figure how we can say that the points are collinear. For example, suppose I have here one line like this. If I take one point here, then if I take second point here and then third point here, okay, and then observe here if I take one point A, here if I take second point B, and here if I take the third point C. So observe in the first figure we have drawn all the 3 points are coming onto the line or line segment, whatever you say, okay, but they are coming on one particular line. And in the second figure you observe they are not coming on a particular line. If I join, I cannot mark them on a proper line. They will be joining with the help of certain number of lines. So here in the second figure, A, B and C points will be called as non-collinear point, while in the first figure they will be called as the collinear points. So collinear points means those points who comes on a single line or a particular line, while non-collinear points will not come on a one particular line. Okay. Now some of the basic angles we shall study. What types of angles we have given. However, you are knowing it very well about them, but once again we can study it. See, first of all, I will make you clear what is the meaning of angles. Okay, so angle means, suppose if you draw the two lines, or I say the two rays you draw, okay, in more proper manner. Suppose that if I draw, this is the one ray going in one direction up till infinite, and from same initial point if I draw the another ray, this point I will say A, and this point I will say B, and here if I mark one point C. So see, if I take the center as A and if I draw one circle, okay, for example, if I draw one circle like this, okay, I cannot draw very perfectly, but yes, suppose that if I take a center A and draw one circle, then you observe some part of the circle circumference is coming between these two lines. Are you observing this part? I am talking about this particular part. This particular part of the circle coming between the two lines is called as the angle. Now this angle we can measure in degrees. Okay, with the help of your protractor, the measurement of this angle we can have it in the form of degrees, because the whole circle we can divide into 360 equal parts. So how many equal parts is coming in this angle, that we can measure with the help of protractor. Okay, so now see the types of angle what they are talking here. First of all, they are talking about the acute angle. So remember, in the acute angle, the angle value or the angle measurement, we can say it lie between 0 and 90 degree. Remember, it will lie between 0 and 90 degree. It cannot be equal to 0 as well as it cannot be equal to 90 degree. Similarly, let us see the second definition. Right angle. If the value of any angle is equal to 90 degree, then it is called right angle. Third one, obtuse angle. So obtuse angle is that angle whose value is more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. Means its value will be between 90 and 180. This is your obtuse angle. So its value can be between 90 to 80 degree. Okay. Now similarly we will have some more angles here. Let us see the next one. Straight angle. Straight angle, you observe, if the two arms, we say that the two sides who form the angle, we say they are arms. For example, see this one, I will say one of the arm. Okay, and this I will say the another arm of the angle. Okay, second arm we can see. So here, if these two arms are straights, then we can say that that will form the angle of 180 degree, as you can see in the figure. So 180 degree angle, if the two arms are forming, that type of angle will be called as here straight angle. Okay. Now similarly, see the next definition. The next definition is given here as reflex angle. So reflex angle means, suppose if I say I have the two arms given over here and they are forming one acute angle. It can be acute, it can be 90 degree, or it can be obtuse angle. So suppose this angle is going to form. So along with this angle, whatever the another angle is required to form a circle, that angle, the remaining angle or the remaining part of the circle is called as the reflex angle. See the definition, what they are saying, an angle which is greater than 180 degree but less than 360 degree is called a reflex angle. Okay, so remember, if you form any angle, then along with that angle, whatever the angle is required to complete the circle, that particular angle will be called as your reflex angle. And the value of reflex angle will be minimum more than 180 degree it is required. Means it can be minimum 180 point something, means it is more than 180, but it can't be more than 360 degree, because as we know that the complete angle, the complete circle will be of 360 degree only. Now let us see the next two definitions quickly. These are very simple: complementary angle and supplementary angle. So complementary angle means, suppose if I have two angles, for example I say one angle is of 75 degree and another angle is 15 degree. Add both of them, they become 90 degree, right? Similarly, if one angle I have 60 degree and another angle I have 30 degree, add both of them, again it will be 90 degree. So if I have two angle whose sum is 90 degree, we can say that they are complementary angle. And if I have two angles, suppose one is 150 degree and another one is 30 degree. Okay, so that will be equal to 180. So if I have two angle whose sum is 180 degree, then we can say that angles are supplementary angles. Okay, so supplementary angles means two angles, sum will be 180, and complementary means the sum of two angles will be 90 degree. Okay, remember this concept. Sometimes it confuse. In place of complementary we apply supplementary, or in place of supplementary we apply complementary angles. So don't be confused. Complementary means sum will be 90 degree and supplementary means sum will be 180 degree. One more thing, remember, if I have one angle and I have to find out its complementary angle, means in the given angle what should I add to get the sum 90 degree. So for example, if someone asks you, I have one angle 50 degree. Okay, so tell me its complementary angle. So think, in 50 what should I add? 40 to make it 90, or I can do one thing, 50 you subtract from 90 degree. So 90 minus 50 degree, we can say it is equal to 40 degree. So to find out the complementary angle of a given angle, we subtract it from 90 degree. And similarly, to find out the supplementary angle of a given angle, for example, I have one angle is 100 degree and its supplementary I need to find out. So that I will subtract from 180. 180 minus 100 will be equal to 80 degree. So I can say that the complementary angle, if I want to find out, I will subtract the given angle from 90, and supplementary angle, if I want to find out, then I will subtract the given angle from 180 degree. Okay, students, is it clear? Now we can start the next one. The next definition is given. It is little confusing, but you see it carefully, then I don't think you will confuse in the future about this definition. Okay, the definition is given. Definition number 8, adjacent angle. So what is adjacent angle? Two angles are said to be adjacent if they have a common vertex. The first condition is they should have a common vertex. Okay, and a common arm, means they should have one common vertex as well as common arm. And the third condition is the non-common arms are on different sides. Okay, so I will mark the condition one by one. Let us see is it satisfying or not. This is our condition number 1, this is our condition number 2, and this is our condition number 3. So let us see one by one all the 3 conditions. First condition, they should have one common vertex. Now look at the figure. In the figure you are observing two angles. One angle is angle A, B, D. Are you observing two angles here? One is angle ABD and second one is angle DBC. Right, DBC. See, this is DBC angle. Okay, and this one is angle ABD on the top. Now in these two angles you observe there is one common vertex, that is B. So we can say that yes, B is a common vertex and this satisfies our condition number 1. Okay, similarly the second condition they are saying here, they should have a common arm, means one common side they should have. So observe the side BD. Side BD is in both angle. This is your common arm. Okay, so we can say yes, here also we got the common arm. And the third thing, the non-common arm, means who are the non-common arm? The non-common arm are AB. Okay, this is your non-common arm, and BC. We can say these are non-common arms. So these non-common arms lie on different side of the common arm. Sorry, spelling I written wrong. Arms. Okay, so here we can see that, observe, this is the one non-common arm BC and second one is AB. So see, they are lying on different sides, they are not lying on the same side of the common arm. Same side of the common arm means there is one side of the common arm is coming at the left side, or you can say it is at the top. Okay, and the second side will be at the bottom. So tell me, both the non-common arm lying at the bottom side or lying at the left or the top side? No, one is lying at the top or the left side, or we can say that the one lying at the bottom side. Okay, so here the third condition is also satisfied. The non-common arm do not lie on the same side, or we can say that they lie on the different side. Okay, so three conditions, students, remember, because this angle confused in the examination sometime, because on this definition it may be asked to you some multiple choice questions, and with the help of that you need to give the answer. So if the definition is not clear, sometimes we are unable to choose the right answer from the given one. So here once again I will make you clear what is the correct definition of the adjacent angle. The first condition is they should have the common vertex. So see here I have taken the two angles. One angle is ABD and second angle is DBC. They will have one common point B. So I can say that B is a common point and hence it is a common vertex. Second condition is they should have a common arm. So observe BD. BD is your common arm. BD is coming in angle ABD, as well as BD is coming in the angle CBD. So they have the common arm over here. And third condition is the non-common arm do not lie on the same side of the common arm. Okay, so one non-common arm is lying on the left or the top side, or we can say, or the second non-common arm lying at the bottom side. Okay, so they do not lie on the same side. So this is a definition of adjacent angle. Now come to the second last definition of the topic over here, that we are starting linear pair. So linear pair means those two angles are called as the linear pair if their non-common arms form a line. Non-common arms, if they are forming a line. For example, see, these two angles will be adjacent angle only, but suppose if this line, for example, I am talking about line AB. Okay, line AB comes and flatten over here like this. Okay, the point A comes at this place. This is your point A. So observe, now they are forming a particular angle over here, and this angle they are forming as a straight angle. Observe, the same figure is drawn down also. Okay, see, the side AB is coming and making one particular line. So AB and BC together they are forming a line, and DB was a common arm between them. So we can say that here the total angle would be formed in this case will be a straight angle. And if I say this is my angle number 1, means angle ABD, if I say angle number 1, and CBD if I say angle number 2. So addition of angle 1 plus angle 2 will be always equal to 180 degree. Okay, so in that case addition of these two angles will be 180 degrees. So remember, in the case of linear pair, the two adjacent angle will have a common arm, but the non-common arm will form a line. And non-common arm, if they are forming a line, means we can say that they are forming a straight angle, and hence the two angles sum will be equal to 180 degree. Okay, let us see the last definition. The last definition we have here, vertically opposite angles. So vertically opposite angles means what are they? See, you are observing two lines are intersecting at a point O. Okay, look at the figure. Can we say that yes, lines are intersecting at a point O? Definitely. Now some angles are forming here. For example, you are looking the two angles marked with a single line, and two angles marked with the double lines. Okay, so if I say this is my angle number 1, this is my angle number 2, angle number 3, and this is angle number 4. So observe 1 and 2 are exactly opposite to each other, right? So these angles are called as angle 1 and angle 2 are called as vertically opposite angle, and similarly angle 3 and angle 4 are also called as vertically opposite angles because they are just opposite to each other, and these kind of angle have one relation: angle 1 and angle 2 are always equal, 3 and 4 are always equal. This is a theorem given in our syllabus. We shall see it and then we will prove this theorem also later in the chapter. Okay, so right now you remember only one thing. Yes, what are the vertically opposite angles and what is a relation between them. So if the two lines are intersecting, the angles formed opposite to each other are called as vertically opposite angles, and these angles are always equal. Okay, so students, we have completed all the definitions. Now let us start quickly. One or two questions at least we shall finish before our session get over of today's. Okay, so let us see the question number 1 from the exercise 6.1. So I am starting now. First question. Yes, as I told you earlier, I have taken the question in the form of textbook exercise, then solve example, and then if required, okay, there I will take some additional questions from the reference book also. I have taken a question in such a way you need not to rush here and there to do some additional questions. All the possible additional questions I have taken. By mistakenly, if some questions are left, we can do it little later at the time of revision. Now let us see the first question. First question is given in such a way: line AB and CD intersect at O if angle AOC plus angle BOE is equal to 70 degree and angle BOD is equal to 40 degree. Find the value of angle BOE and reflex angle COE. Okay, first of all I will mark some angles over here. You can also mark the angles in the examination, but for that you need to draw the figure also in along with the solution. Okay, so if you don't mark the angles over here, then take the original names. That is your choice completely. Okay, you are not compulsorily need to be rename the angles, but renaming the angle will make our work little simpler. That's why I always prefer to rename the angle according to our choice. Okay, so if you don't want to draw the figure in the examination, you can leave renaming of the angle. In that case you use that angles only as given in the question. Okay, so here I am doing it by renaming the angles. So let us see. First of all, I will say this angle AOC is my angle number 1. Okay, then BOE is my angle number 2. Second, BOD is my angle number 3, right? And then COE is my angle number 4 that I am marking here. Now I need to find out angle BOE means angle number 2 and reflex angle COE means reflex angle 4 I need to find out. Now one pattern we shall follow in the geometry. In geometry always we need to write down the our solution into three different forms. First one is we need to write down what is the given things to us, means in the question definitely some things are given to us. Similarly, some things are required to find out or we need to prove it. And third one is the solution. So here we shall categorize our solution into three parts. First is given, second one is to prove or to find, and third one is proof or solution. In the case of to find, we will write down the heading, third one solution, and in the case of to prove, we shall write down proof. Okay, so here since we are finding something, so our second and third heading will be respectively to find and solution. Okay, so let us start. First of all, I will write down here given. So let us see what we have given in the question. Given should be compact here, and it should be to the point. So for example, I can say that AB and CD intersect at O, comma, second thing, the addition of these two angles, but these two angles already we have renamed, so that two angles are angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 70 degree. That is the one thing. Angle BOD means angle 3 we have given here, that is 40 degree. Right? Now we shall write down here to find. What we have to find out. Okay, given was that much only. So now let us write down to find. In to find, what we need to find out? First is angle BOE, means I am finding here angle number 2, and second thing I am finding here reflex angle COE, means I am finding here reflex angle number 4. That way you can write down. Now let us start the solution. Now, before I start the solution, first of all check what we have given here. We have given that angle 1 plus angle 2 we have given, okay, that is given to us 70 degree. Now see, can we find out the value of angle number 4 which is required in the question, because in the question we required there two things. One is angle number 2, that is angle BOE, and second one we required here the angle number, reflex angle number 4. Okay, so let us see how we can find out. First of all, we shall focus on to the angle number 2. Angle number 2, how we can find out if it is possible? One thing is that, see, if I talk about the angle 1 and angle 3. So angle 1, you observe, if I say line CD and line AB, okay, two lines you observe. So I can say that CD and AB are intersecting at a point O. Forget the line OE for some time. So angle 1 and angle 3 are equal. Okay, so angle, whatever the value of angle 1 is there, same way the value of angle 3 will be there. Okay, but angle 3 value already we have given in the question. So if I put up the value of angle 3 as angle 1 in this equation, I can get the value of angle 2. I will show you separately. Once again, please see. Okay, for example, if I draw here two lines, this is one line and this is your second line, I can see. Yes, let me extend this line little further. Okay, so here, wait a minute, we'll draw it once again because it is not drawn properly. See, suppose if I draw one line like this and second line in this manner, I am just redrawing the figure over there. Okay, and like this. See, this is here somewhere the angle 1 lies, and here it lies angle number 3. This point is your A, this is your O, this is your point number B, and in the down it is coming point number D, and this is coming as point number C. I have not drawn OE right now. Whenever it is required, we shall draw it. Now you tell me, AB and CD are intersecting at O? Yes, definitely. And observe, angle 1 and angle 3 are opposite to each other. So we can say that angle 1 and angle 3 are vertically opposite angle, and just now we have seen the vertically opposite angles are always equal. So here we can say that since angle 1 is equal to angle 3, we will give the reason here, vertically opposite angles. Okay, now angle 1 and angle 3 are equal, and value of angle 3 we have given in the question. How much? Value of angle 3 is given in the question as 40 degree. We can say it is our equation number 1. Now we shall go a little further. We have given that in the question already, since the value of angle 1 plus angle 2 will be equal to 70 degree. Okay, so now if I put up the value of angle 1, that is 40 now. So 40 degree plus angle 2 will be equal to 70 degree. How we can say that angle 1 is 40? It is with the help of equation number 1. Okay, now 40 will go on that side. It will become with minus sign. So angle 2 will be equal to 70 degree minus 40 degree. So I can say that the value of angle 2 is coming here 30 degree. That is your first answer. You can say that angle 2 will be equal to 30 degree. Okay, see students, this is only the first answer we were required in the question. So this way first answer we can achieve. Now let us see the second one what we required. Okay, see in the to find angle number 2 was required, and then I found angle number 2 over here. Now we require the value of reflex angle 4. For that, first of all, we need to find out the angle 4. Then only we can find out the reflex angle 4. Reflex angle I have told you, along with the given angle, the angle required to form the circle is called as the reflex angle. So see, first I need to find out the value of angle 4. Now look at carefully. Suppose I say OE is a common arm. Okay, and look at the two arms AO and OB. So can I say that the non-common arms are forming a line over here? In the case angle AOE and angle BOE. So these two adjacent angle are forming the non-common arm are forming the line, and hence the value of this angle will be equal to 180 degree. Or in some simple language, if I say, think about what can be the value of angle 1. If I see, if I draw a line from 1 to 4 angle, so can I say that yes, it is forming a semicircle from angle number 1, angle number 4 until angle number 2. So 1, 4 and 2, if this all three angles, if I join, they will be forming a semicircle. So we can say that the addition of all the three angles will be equal to 180 degree. So here we shall write down also angle 1 plus angle 4 plus angle 2 will be equal to 180 degree. Here you can give the reason, linear pair. Okay, linear pair of angles. Because you see that all the three angles are forming the semicircle, and hence their value will be equal to 180 degree. So linear pair of angles. Now further what I will do here, angle 1 and angle 2 I will form a group. Means I will keep them in the one bracket. Okay, and angle 4 I will keep it aside, is equal to 180 degree. Now see here, 1 plus 2 value we have how much? 1 plus 2 is equal to 70 degree. Look at the given, right? So now 1 plus 2 I will replace it by 70 degree. So here I will write down 70 degree plus angle 4 will be equal to 180 degree. Here you can give the reason given. With the help of given, we can say yes, we have kept the value. Now further 70 will go on that side. So angle 4 will be equal to 180 degree minus 70 degree. So from 180, if I subtract 70, then what will remain here? 110 degree. So value of angle 4 will be equal to 110 degree. But this is not our answer. You know it. We require to find out the value of reflex angle 4. So as I told you earlier, to find out the reflex angle, we need to know the value of that angle first. So here angle 4 we found. Now its reflex, how shall we find out? See, we will write down here reflex angle 4 will be equal to 360 degree minus angle 4. Means I want to find out the reflex of angle 4. Just I need to subtract it from 360 degree. If second time, if you require the reflex angle 2, subtract it from again 360 degree. So we can say that here value of angle 4 I have 110 degree. So 360 minus 110, how much it will remain now? 250 degree. So I can say that therefore reflex angle 4 will be equal to 250 degree. This is your second answer in the question. Okay, so I hope students today we have just worked out to build the concept. Then second time onwards we shall try to cover more and more number of questions. Questions can be covered very quickly if you understand the concept. Okay, so if this video, if you want to see again, please see it and build up your concept, because each and every time the concept cannot be taught to you. Okay, try to understand. So it is not possible each and every time I will tell you what is linear pair of angle, what is vertically opposite angles. I will indicate this is vertically opposite angles and they are equal. This is linear pair of angles, so their sum is 180 degree. In linear pair of angle, remember only two angles may not come. More than two angles can form the sum equal to 180 degree also. Okay, so please read the definitions I have explained in the beginning. So next time onwards it will be easier for us to understand the concept and the question as well. Okay, so next time we shall start from the second question onwards. Okay, thank you.